Today, take a look at the Prostormer 10-inch table saw. So this one actually has a stand. So they put a packing bag in here to keep it safe. We got our instructions. Here's our fence. It is a clamp style. We got the rest of our legs here in the corner. And we got our push stick here in the foam. Well, everything on here looks to be fairly well built. And it does appear that if we don't want to, we don't even need to use those legs, so we could just have the thing standing up as is. It would slide fairly easily, but we do have mounting holes right here, so if we wanted to, we could mount that directly to a table. It actually came with a spot that we can wrap up our cord, and this is something that's important to me. The gauge on here is actually in inches. Not all of these are. Some of them are in centimeters. Okay, so we do have paws with this one, so this is going to help to prevent kickback. This is going to go on the back. We have our miter gauge. Has a plastic slide on that. I usually don't see that. We have our blade guard, a couple of pieces of metal. I'm not really sure what these are yet. Oh, this is cool. So now I was talking about you could put rubber feet on the bottom. Looks like it actually came with some. And we got a bag of hardware. So we got a wheel on the front. We can use that to raise and lower the blade. We can also use that to adjust the bevel. All we got to do is spin it, and that will pick up our blade. And I'm happy to see that we already have our riving knife installed, because that's going to make it a lot safer. Total height, we are looking at about 3 1/4 inches. So to adjust the bevel, we're going to loosen up this nut right here, and then we can grab the whole thing and we can move it like that, or we can push the wheel in. That will engage with these teeth right here, and we can move it like that. So if you're trying to get a very fine adjustment, this can be a much nicer way of doing that. So I'm going to put that on 0. We can see the indicator lines up with 0, and lock that down. Now we can check the blade, and that does in fact look perfectly up and down. So one thing that's kind of cool about this one, most of the time if you want to take this guard plate off, you have to break out an Allen pack and you got to undo a bunch of bolts. With this one, you can just grab it and pop it out. And we can see we got our bolt right there that's going to hold the blade in. Now, another neat thing is we actually got our wrenches right here. So in the event that we need to change that blade, we're going to have all the tools that we need right here. We don't have to go find anything. So I'm going to start out with the legs. Those are going to attach right there. We already got the bolts installed, and those are installed with a 10mm wrench. So I checked these rubber feet. They do not fit on there. So these are just to go onto the bottom of the legs. Now there is a metal insert in here, so it's acting as a nut. All we got to do is line up those slots with those pegs and then drop the bolt in. For these supports to go in the middle, there are 2 longer ones and 2 shorter ones. So on the front, we're looking at about 17 inches from bolt to bolt, and on the side, we are looking at 14.5. So the longer support is going to go on the front. Support goes on the back, and then put a nut behind that. And then I found out what these are. These are actually supports for the rear legs. So if you're going to be pushing a large board through here, you don't want this thing to be tipping over. This is going to give you extra support in the back. That is the saw with the legs. And we are looking at right about 33.5 inches off of the ground. You can see there's a little button right here. So you can grab the whole thing, kind of spin it down, and then that will sit into that notch. So now that is going to hold itself in position. If we want to remove it, press the button and we can pop it back out. We got kind of a similar thing. We got a little lever right here. So there's a bar here and then there's another bar on the back. So the first bar is to go in and then sink to the back, and then the second bar is going to be what's activated with this lever. First, I'm going to drop in the first bar. So right now the rear bar is in, the front bar is not. So I got to push that lever forward and that drops into place. And now that's attached as well. So now we got our paws and we got our blade guard. We also have an extractor port in the back, so you can hook up your shop vac to that. You can also see it's slotted out, so whenever you bevel the saw, that is going to move with it. Okay, so let's talk about the fence. Now, the first, I want to say the very good thing about the fence, they actually got a little red line and a magnified glass right there. So what that means is if we drop this guy on and we lock it, we can actually see exactly what that is going to be lined up on that gauge. If we take our square and we line it up with the table, there is a little bit of slop in this thing, left and right. So you're going to want to have a square every time that you set this. Not a big deal. If you're used to working with a table saw, then you're already used to doing this. The other thing is, if we take this guy and we push it all the way to the edge, that is as far as it goes. And they put this plastic guide right here, so if you're going to use it as intended, you're going to get a maximum rip cut of about 6.5 inches, which is not very much. Now, we could unbolt this and use it from the aluminum. That will give us about 8 1/4. Still not really that much. Now, if all you're going to be doing is molding or anything like that, that's going to be perfectly fine. But if you want to take a 48-inch piece of plywood and cut that into 2 equal pieces, it's simply not going to happen on here. So it's just going to be a matter of knowing what you're going to be using it for and knowing what you're buying. Now we could, if we really wanted to, take this guy, put it on the other side, because this blade is actually offset to the right a little bit. Clamp that down. We would have to take these wing nuts off, and then we would get about just under 12 inches, so about 11 7/8. I might be able to kick that over a little bit more and get 12 inches. But we would be ripping from the left, which is a little bit unusual, but if you need to get that extra length, that is an option. That guy could do that all day long. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, for the money, you're getting a pretty excellent tool. At the end of the day, the thing does make straight cuts. It does feel fairly strong. You can do bevels, and it's got a lot of safety features built in. So overall, that is a nice table saw.